Here's some quick trivia for you. What is a round earther's favorite meal? Got it? Alright, let me tell you the answer. BS. Round earthers have to be the most pretentious and loserish group of people behind only atheists. Second only to the atheists, because nobody can be as full of themselves as internet atheists. Round earthers think that they're so smart because they believe the earth is round. Doesn't most of the world believe the earth is round? How does that make you smart? How does that make you cool? You think you're a scientist now because you believe the earth is round. If everybody believes that, well, not everybody, but most of the world, because most of the world, they're idiots and they're sheeps. How does that make you smart? It doesn't, because you're not smart. You're dumb. You believe the earth is round because scientists told you. I'm so smart because the scientists told me the earth is round, so I'm regurgitating and tell flat earthers that they're so dumb and wrong. You don't even know what you're saying. Shut up. And I want to say that I want to blame you, but I know I can't, because it's indoctrination that's been happening for almost close to now a century now. So you've heard the saying, the winners write history, or the winners rewrite history. Well, this is the exact scenario right here. So when the wrong side of history won World War II, we started getting in this weird spot. Because prior to 1945, nobody believed the earth was round. Everybody knew it was flat. Like, stop believing what these books are telling, these textbooks, scientific textbooks are telling you, or history textbooks are telling you, saying Copernicus and Galilei, they knew about the heliocentric model and all this nonsense about how we knew the earth was round from back in the ancient days, and lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. Stop it. For one, lunar and solar eclipse does not prove that the earth is round. It does not. And half the time the government are projecting stuff up onto the moon to make it look like it's a lunar or solar eclipse, because lunar or solar eclipses don't happen that often. The government is lying. First, I'm gonna get into that later on, about the government lying. So like I said before, the textbooks, they're lies. The winners write history. And this is what the winners did. The Americans, the British. I hate the British so much. They try to convince the world that the earth is round. So I'm gonna show you how easy it was for them to do that. Because like for example, Japan, they lost the war, right? We all know that. But somehow they convinced their own people that they were an innocent country that got dragged into the war. How crazy is that? They lost the war, but they still have enough influence to lie to their people, to tell them that they were innocent the whole time, not telling them about all the atrocities and disgusting things that they did. Crazy, right? Mad, crazy. So a little country like that, basically some islands, or an island, I don't know, but a country like that who lost the war, they were in shambles. Their emperor Hirohito, who they thought was a god, was to his knees at the mercy, at the will of the Americans, and somehow they lied to their people, indoctrinated their people into believing that they were innocent. Crazy. So you can only imagine how much power the Allies had, which is, if you guys don't know about World War II, the Allies were the bad guys. The wrong side of history, as I said before. And like I said, right, they wrote history and made themselves into the good guys. I've been telling people about this all the time, but they don't want to believe me. But hey, believe what the textbooks tell you. These are the same people who say the textbooks lie, but then want to believe the textbooks when it comes to this. All right, going too much right now. Talking about too much right now. Okay, communication back then was terrible. You had letters and telegrams, not very efficient. It was just all around bad. There was no social media, no news sites. So you can imagine how indoctrination was so easy. That's why propaganda was so popular back then. So you weren't gonna have Emily, the blue-haired, non-binary, non-gender conforming male, flex gender, queer sexual, reverse gender, liberal telling you what's right or wrong. And you weren't gonna have Tanner, the super patriot Republican, who would lick every single germ and speck off of a cop's boot, the super respecter of veterans. Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan, birth juice guzzlers, screen name Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump rocks 11 on all social media platforms, telling you that something is wrong. It just wasn't gonna happen because social media didn't exist. And I know people wondering, oh, where are my tax dollars going? It's going to NASA, but for what? They're basically playing Space Invaders. They're putting all these 3D models up. Oh, look, we're going to this planet. Look at this. Look at our droid. It's Star Wars. Look Look at our ship. It's going through all the asteroids and swerving in and out. Going through the asteroid belt. It's going to another galaxy, another universe. See all this nonsense? You're basically paying a bunch of money for basically movies. They're basically creating short films. Short films. You wonder why they have all these actors and videographers and 3D specialists working with NASA. Yeah, you wonder why, right? What's that song? The song, what was it? Hollywood was created in the Hollywood basement. No, Hollywood was created in the final front. Space was created in the final frontier. No, oh my gosh, what was it? Hold on. The final frontier. No. Yes, space is the final frontier, but it was created. Yes, space was oh my God, I just had it. Space is the final frontier, but it was created in a Hollywood basement. You get me? You get me. You smell what I'm cooking? You smell what I'm cooking. Hollywood created space. Space never existed. Nobody was planning on going to space back then, ever, until 1945, when the wrong side of history won, a very important and crucial world-turning war. Yes. You wonder why we see videos of the moon landing, how it's all messed up. Crosshairs, photo crosshairs, video crosshairs behind astronauts. How does that work? They were basically in a pool. I don't know how exactly it worked, but you wonder why, you always wonder why Mars and some of these other planets look like they were shot in an Arizona desert. They look like they were shot in deserts on Earth. Because they're fake. They got a video crew doing all this stuff. It's all fake. Look, if the Earth was round, right? When I put a pencil on the ground, why doesn't it roll? You don't have an answer for that, right? Why is it that when I have my car out of park, my car doesn't roll? It just stays there. It should be going fast, like around, right? Why is it that we don't follow? Why don't the Australians fall into space? They're upside down, right? I'm never dizzy. I never get dizzy. I never got dizzy a day in my life, but somehow we're spinning. We're spinning at some 1,000 miles per hour, but I don't feel it. We're not spinning. The only spinning I'm spinning my ass block with 2 chops. Better have that G-lock before he drop. Ooh. Little poem of the dome. Like that. All right. So what was I saying? Yes. Okay. So I don't feel it spinning. Regular. Sitting down here recording this video. I'm not like this, not spinning. You get me? You get me? And another thing, in the round Earth model, there's something called a Van Allen radiation belt. And no black people, that is not a new designer belt. Please save your money. Please save your government checks for something more useful. Thank you. It is a radiation belt, like it says. Self-explanatory, right? If you go through that thing, you should have cancer. Come back through it, you should have cancer. But somehow, people are going to the ISS. That's what they say. They had some huge spacecraft up in the air that has a whole bunch of astronauts, aka actors, which is actually on space. International Satanic System. These people are fine. Somehow these people are fine, but they're going through a radiation belt. A radiation belt, twice. Some people more than twice. And you wonder why these astronauts didn't swear on the Bible, right? All these astronauts swear on the Bible, swear that you went to the moon, swear that you walked in the moon. Wouldn't do it, nada, nothing. Because they were scared. They were scared to swear to God that they walked on the moon. There was one who swore on the Bible, and he was an atheist. So doesn't matter. Well, at least I think he was. He probably was. Because nobody who isn't an atheist isn't gonna swear on the Bible and lie, right? Well, politicians do it all the time. Well, a lot of them are fake Christians. Somehow all of them are Christians. So I don't believe them. They're probably atheists too. Or, some other religion. And you see this shill. Well, I would even call him a shill because he's like one of the ringleaders. Elon Musk. All these young people falling for it. Elon Musk is so cool. Elon Musk, he's gonna save us all. Elon Musk is a liar. This guy's been paying Sleepy Joe to raise the gas prices. You wanna know why? Because he wants people to buy Tesla. And you know what's gonna happen? More funding for SpaceX. This guy has been exporting gas to space for the past about 4 years now. That tub of lard, Donald Trump, he was allowing it to. Supposed to be an America First guy, but this guy's letting some, I don't want to say the DIRTY, South African, to ruin our markets, to have us by a chokehold, and this guy's in like serious debt. Lard Boy Trump and Elon Musty. Yes, I hate them both. You see, all these space programs, just in the United States alone, we're spending over $1 billion on a space program. Imagine every space program combined. How much that would cost? How much that would come out to be worth to? Insane, mind-boggling. And you want to know, oh, why do people do that? This is so dumb. You're so stupid. No, you're stupid. Okay, let me tell you two reasons why they want to do all this. One, they like to brag. Yeah, very childish, right? I see like 90% of them are old people. They're over the age of 70. Probably 60 all the way up. Why would they want to be bragging? Because they're childish. Well, the bragging part kind of plays into the second part. The second part, they want to show that they can do whatever they want to us. They like this type of stuff. That's why they show hints, stuff in plain sight. It's hidden in plain sight. Yeah, you know that, hidden in plain sight. It's there, but you don't know what it is. So they like to brag about it. They like to flaunt. Two, they want to exercise their control to the fullest. They want like, oh, we can do this to them, so let's slowly indoctrinate them into more and more and more until we have full control over them and they won't even know it. It's insane. So you have all these like losers on YouTube trying to do all these debunk videos. What's that guy's name? I'm gonna put a picture of him on here. Huge loser. This guy he's supposed to be some scientist or science teacher. This guy's a loser. Well, I'm not surprised he's a science teacher. He just regurgitates whatever he learned. He doesn't really know what he's talking about. But this guy's trying to debunk flat earth theory, talking about how the horizon, you can't go over or beneath the horizon. You can only go straight. It's called a vanishing point. People like to say that when you see a ship going across the water, that you see them going down. Impossible. That means the earth would be so tiny if that were true. The earth would have to be so small that you can actually see the horizon, which is, one, doesn't exist, and two, it's called a vanishing point. Things disappear after a while. Let's say we had some eagle vision or some animal with some super crazy eyesight, but you would still see the ship until it went out of its range. You get me? You see how this works? No such thing as a horizon. It's called a vanishing point. We all have a tolerance, for lack of a better term, lack of a better word, to see. So it goes away, and boom, just like that. People are going to be like, you have to prove gravity doesn't exist. No, you have to prove to me that it exists. Because gravity doesn't exist. Stuff just falls, stuff just drops. Boom, just like that. Let's say gravity exists, right? Let's say, why aren't things being attracted to me or being pushed away from me or being crushed? Since we all have gravity, everything has gravity, why isn't someone like Eat and Decline, aka Ethan Klein, not attracting anybody? He can't even attract a woman. His wife felt bad for him, so she married him. That's about it. But let me save this is for another video. So nobody's being attracted to him. The guy is humongous, huge. That's a huge understatement. Not crushing anything, not pushing anything away, like how planets are supposed to be pulling on each other because of the gravity. Why isn't this guy pulling on anybody? The guy likes to eat 5 Big Macs at a time, stacked on top of each other. The guy looks like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, but the difference is they're not fat. Someone like EDP 445. Why? If gravity exists, there would be no video of EDP. And let me explain why. He is so big, huge. He looks like Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt could probably move better than him too. Someone like EDP, he's so big that he'd have so much gravity that he would have crushed the camera. There'd be no video. So if gravity exists, why is there a video of EDP? EDP asking for a cupcake. Why is it? And you know what's funny now? I'm about to coin my own term, the cupcake theory. I like that. Proof that gravity doesn't exist because someone as big as EDP somehow doesn't have enough gravitational force or gravitational pull to crush something as small as a camera. Not even the camera, a phone. Well, he smashes those Big Macs, so that might be, he smashes those cupcakes too. So that might be little, maybe debunk my theory a little, but in all seriousness, he's so big, but he doesn't crush anything. He doesn't have a gravitational pull on anything, but he's that big. How does that make any sense? You get me? The cupcake theory. Learn it, remember it, love it, regurgitate it, tell everybody about it. Gravity does not exist because someone as big as EDP does not have a gravitational pull or force. Makes zero sense. And I know people like to say, oh, if the Earth is flat, why aren't the other planets flat? Why isn't the moon flat? Why isn't the sun flat? Well, for one, the sun is not a planet, idiot. It's a star. And the moon, not a planet either, idiot. It's a huge rock. But the other planets, let me explain. Some people say this, they believe in God, right? If you believe in God, then you should be able to believe that God can make a flat Earth and have all the other planets round. They have no life on it, right? Earth has life on it, we're special. And for the people who don't believe in God, same thing applies. We're special. We have life on us, so we're flat. They're round, so they don't have any life. And that's crazy. That's a good indicator. The scientists like to say habitable planets have water, have all this other nonsense. I forgot all that stuff they were talking about. Nice weather, whatever. Look, this is how smart I am. I'm doing this off the top right now. This is just coming to me. I'm just that nice. Not to brag. But round planets, not habitable. Mars is actually not habitable if you didn't know. It's way too hot, but they're trying to force it. People are gonna die. They're probably not even gonna do the whole thing because they know deep down inside that you can't even leave the planet. You get me? And flat planets, habitable. The round planets, you can leave, but guess what? There's nothing to leave to. Space is just nothingness. You get me? It's just our quote unquote solar system. You notice why we're not allowed to go to Antarctica, right? Because it's so simple. Because it's a huge ice ring around the Earth, right? They have snipers on the ice ring because you can't fall off the Earth, but you can touch the glass. You can definitely touch the grass. This is why you see in The Simpsons when I think he cracked the firmament, the glass covering us. It's not anything religious or anti-religious or anything. It's just fact. Atheists, believers, theists, whatever you want to call all these people from everywhere, they believe it because it's fact, it's truth. And you need to get on the truth train because we're gonna leave you soon. When the elites bomb everywhere and start World War III, we're gonna be safe. Because why? Because we're on the truth train. You believe everything the government tells you. The government lies. The government told me that, I won't get into it, but I can't disclose that because they'll come for me. Let's just say Area 51. Let's just say that. I think that's it for this video. So open your mind, stop being a dumb roundy, and become a flat earther. So if you liked this video, leave a like or dislike. And if you didn't like this video, leave a like or dislike. And I'm out.